Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this information because most of the information you're going to get from this channel is very useful information that is very applicable to your life. So you want to go ahead and share. Send this video over to people you consider your friends so that they could be empowered. They could be educated on business because business is the fuel that runs America. Think about it. Ever since America has been on decline, it's because people are not enterprising anymore. Everybody wants to work for somebody and nobody wants to go to business. So if everybody's working for somebody and nobody is enterprising, someday is going to happen. Most of the population is going to be working for very few people. So that's why America thinks of on the decline and we're experiencing all these economic downturns. So guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is ChukwumaijemNwosu. This is the Solutionist channel. And this channel expect to hear everything that has to do with money, making money, keeping money, moving money around, doing different things with money, ways to fund your pet projects, businesses, and different endeavors in your life. Today we have a very interesting topic. We're talking about car hauling. Okay, car hauling is a business that I went into in 2002. Before that, I was doing it on a very small scale with one truck and one trailer. So, and eventually, I teamed up with a friend of mine from Houston, and we went into this business full throttle. And during the process of going full throttle on this business, I learned so much about car hauling. Right, this business is one good cash flow business, almost like real estate, because it makes money almost every day. Almost every day, you have money just rolling in and coming in. So, today we're going to talk about what you must do to succeed in the car hauling business. Before you start the car hauling business, you need to stop, consider some of the things I'm going to talk about today before you proceed in order for you to experience success in the car hauling business. Number one, insurance. Before you start car hauling business, you need to shop around for insurance because most of the time, let's say you call Progressive. Progressive is one of the biggest insurers of car haulers, right? You call them, you're looking for a $5 million policy. You might get a very expensive rate depending on the state you're in. If you're in Illinois, as I have come to know for a fact, you will get a higher rate compared to someone in Georgia. And also, it depends on your credit score and your history and some other things. But in Georgia, for some reason, people get the lowest rate. Now, if you look in New York, I believe over there the rate is going to be sky high, maybe more than Chicago. So I guess it just depends on how calm and how mellow the vicinity is. The more activity area prone areas you are, and the more likely for some kind of indemnity, the insurance rates is going to go up. So the first thing you want to do is for your insurance, shop around, shop across state lines, and make sure you get the best rate possible. Do not just limit yourself to Illinois or some state. Shop around. Make sure you go to different. You try to uh, call to acquire insurance in different states. Okay, ask for the rate in Georgia, ask for the rate in Florida, ask for the rate in Alabama. Just ask around and see what different rates they're offering is, and find the rate that is lowest for you and go after that rate. Okay, and based on my experience, Georgia has one of the lowest rates. The next is that the truck you want to use for your car hauling, you don't want to buy it cash outright. You want to own it, and even if you want to lease it. You want to lease the truck. You don't want to own it. And even if you own it, make sure you have very good warranty on it because these trucks tend to break down very often. Because remember, they're hauling tons and tons of stuff. They're hauling cars, and cars are very heavy. And all the braking, stopping, turning, and stuff like that, after a while, takes a toll on the truck. So that because of that, you want to lease it because when you lease it, the leasing company is responsible for the maintenance of the truck. The next thing is that you want to lease or rent the trailer. The trailer that you use to haul the car. Let's say you have a two-car hauler, a three-car hauler, four-car, five-car, six-car, 10-car hauler. You want to lease the trailer from a company where you pay little by little every month. You want to pay in installments. That would enable you to use or take advantage of the opportunity the fact that the leaser, the person that leases the truck to you, is going to be the person that is going to be taking care of the maintenance of the person that leases the trailer to you is going to be taking responsibility of the maintenance of the trailer. So that is in your best interest to do that. The next thing is that you want to start out driving yourself or learn how to drive. If you learn how to drive, the advantages of doing this is that your drivers cannot play with your time. They cannot play around with you because when your drivers are not forthcoming, if you grow up to the level where you start needing multiple drivers, you can do without your driver. in the days which they're either stuck somewhere, have an emergency, or just outright not trying to basically play to your liking, right? Or they're dedicated to your purpose or the purpose of the company. Sometimes you get some drivers that are very flaky. They come today, they call off the next week, they call off on a day, some emergency comes up, their life is not very stable. That's what you come to learn about most of these drivers. A lot of them are not very stable. They don't have a very stable life. They're not committed. Some of the most committed drivers are immigrants, like the Mexicans. You get the Polish guys. The Polish guys are very good drivers to bring into a trucking company. But the problem with the Polish guys is that the Polish guys are driving for you to someday own their own truck. They're not planning to stay in your company forever. That's why they're one of the best drivers to hire. When you hire a Polish guy, he's going to give you a dedicated 1 to 3 years of his life. And within those 1 to 3 years, if you're a smart businessman, as the CEO of the company, you should be looking for another person already. You can even communicate with your driver and tell him, say, listen, I know you're working for me right now to raise capital to fund your own business. Can you find me a replacement driver that will take over once you're gone? Do not be blind to this. Do not be oblivious of this fact because 100% the Polish guy is going to stack up his money and he's going to leave you. And when he leaves you, you're stuck with a truck lease payment, you're stuck with a trailer payment, you're stuck with insurance that you're paying for with no driver to drive the truck. So that's why you need to learn how to drive for yourself. You understand? So you need to learn how to drive the trucks so that on those days when you experience those failures, you can keep running the business while you're waiting for a driver. And once you find a driver, you can come off the truck. The next thing you need to know, you must do to succeed in the car hauling business, okay? Based on my experience, remember, I've experienced this. I'm not just telling you something that I don't know. I'm the CEO of a trucking company. I know what's going on. I know this business in and out, right? You need to set up the business entity properly. You just don't want to do it by yourself. You want to go through a business consulting company. They will help you structure your business properly, set it up in such a way that all the financial houses recognize your business as a legitimate entity. What does that do for you? I'm glad you asked. Because the consulting company will set up your business in such a way that you get good business line of credit. Without the business line of credit, business line of credit is the heartbeat that runs the trucking company because your trucks cannot move an inch without diesel in the tank. So you need a long business line of credit to keep putting diesel in those fuel tanks, keep fueling the trucks. Even when you're waiting on paychecks from different companies, the truck needs to keep running. And that business line of credit will keep the tires turning. And one thing about trucking business is this, the car hauling business, once, as long as the wheels are turning, money is coming in. As a matter of fact, the trucking business could be so good. As long as you have reliable credit and you have a good driver, it's better than real estate. I could argue anybody that says it's not. The transportation business is better than real estate because the cash flow is just it just keeps dumping and dumping and coming in. Okay. The next point you want to do, the next thing you must do to succeed in the car hauling business, right, is that you need to get a business insurance, right? Because the business insurance is important because sometimes trucking companies fail, especially if you went into it and you did not go through the consulting company and you don't have the right business line of credit to be able to sustain during those periods where you're waiting on checks and payments from different companies, right? If you not set it properly and then your business tends to get to a point where it gets to a halt and the business you go out of business, the business insurance will come in and cover any expense that you used in starting the company and they will give you back that money and that prevents you from just being left out in the cold. You're able to recuperate some of the money you invested in the trucking business, right? The next thing you must do to have success in the car hauling business, right, you need to get as much line of credit as possible. Whatever gas station you stop at, where you guys buy diesel, get a business line of credit. Get a credit card. You stop at a Go Low, you stop at any of the truck stop, Quick Trip, anywhere you stop, get their credit card, right? Any any truck stop that you come to, get a credit card from that truck stop. Because with that credit card, they give you 5,000, 10,000, $15,000 plus. You could use that when other credit cards are maxed out to keep buying diesel to keep your trucks running so that you can buy yourself some extended time to come up with some of the cash that you're being owed by all these other companies that you have loads assigned with or you're working with. So you need that business. You need to get as much line of credit as possible. I would tell you this, right? As a beginner in the trucking business, you need at least $100,000 line of credit because you will help you with the repairs, breakdown, payment, maintaining your staff and doing so many other things, running your diesel, running your truck while you're waiting on pending payments. Because pending payments is one of the things that kill the truck people in the trucking industry. Because you wait, because sometimes you work for companies they owe you $30,000, $15,000. They won't pay you till, let's say it's a 90-day pay. They won't pay you till after 90 days because they have to receive their cars, inspect it, make sure that all the cars are arrived just the way you picked them up. Like there was no damage on delivery. And most of the time, this has to do with when you're hauling brand new cars or manufacturer, cars. They take about 30 to 90 days to pay. So while you're waiting on that payment, because their check is so huge, you have to keep running. You don't have to run on that your line of credit till the payment comes in. The next thing you must do so you succeed in this business, this car hauling business, right? You need to identify how the drivers could get paid when money is pending. It goes back and ties back to what I just said, right? You need to keep business line of credit. You need to get as much credit cards as possible because even when your payments are pending, when you don't have money, you don't have physical cash sitting in the bank because you've exhausted it trying to service all these other companies that gave you work, you can go ahead and use the credit cards that you kept acquiring. You can use your business line of credit and keep paying your staff and keep the business afloat. Without this, you're going to go under. This is very crucial information. That business line of credit, all those credit cards you accumulated from different companies, is going to save the life of the business. All right. The next thing that you need to be successful in this car hauling business is that you need to go ahead. Um, Basically, you need to identify how the drivers could get paid, when money is spent, and then you need to identify the source of diesel funding and make sure it's uninterrupted. Without fuel, your truck, like I said earlier, can now move an inch. So you need to basically assign, set aside, put to the side, put to the left, whatever you want to call it, make sure that there's dedicated lines of credit, credit cards, funds, payment that is overall 100% dedicated to just the truck, making sure that the truck is properly fueled at any given time because this will save your business. Because remember, I said earlier, when the tires are not turning, money is not being made. That's just the kind of business car hauling is. If your tires are not turning, if you're not picking up loads, not dropping off loads, you're not making money. So you need to make sure that that money that is assigned to make sure that there's always diesel in the tank of the truck goes uninterrupted. You don't use those dedicated credit cards, line of credit, funds, and stuff to do anything else. They're segregated from the rest of the expenses that goes on in the business. The last thing that you must do to ensure that your success in the car hauling business, right, is that you need to source for a reliable and quick trailer and truck repair guy. This is a mechanic, a truck repair and trailer repair expert, someone that is good with wiring the trailers, fixing any electrical issues with the trailers, fixing the hub bearings, fixing the tires, fixing leaks, hydraulic leaks, whatever. Someone that is good with fixing the diesel truck, fixing wiring issues, fixing any issue that might arise with the diesel truck. You need a mechanic that is very proficient in fixing these issues, and that will ensure your success. I was going to go ahead and actually give you guys a bonus point, okay? Another thing that what I would recommend that you do as a must to succeed in the car hauling business is have 5 separate bank accounts: income, expense, savings, taxes, miscellaneous. Miscellaneous could be something just like, personnel, money dedicated, a bank account to just paying the staff, even paying yourself, paying the drivers, paying anybody that needs to be paid, paying the mechanic, right? So this account right here, right, is something that maybe you can just use it for paying yourself alone because you already have the expense account. So this account can be dedicated to just holding whatever money is dedicated to your payment. You could use it in this account. You can leave it over here. Let's assume you just want to keep rolling in your money that is meant for your payment into the business for the time being for you to take a lump sum on a later date. So these are some of the crucial things you must do to succeed in the car hauling business. And that's what makes you a success. If you can get all these things in order, you are ready to run one of the most lucrative, successful, cash flowing business in the United States of America, because every single day there are trucks on the road, there are loads in the cloud that are waiting to be picked up and delivered, and and the drivers that upon delivery, there are people waiting to pay you for these loads. Once again, guys, thank you for checking in with my channel, right? Um, I appreciate everybody that comes, to see what we're doing over here. I really appreciate you guys. I recommend you check out my other channel, ChukwumaijemNwosu, where we talk about how men should carry themselves, how men should look, how to put yourself in the business class. What is a business class? The behavior of the owner of a business. There's a way you have to look. There's a way you have to talk. There's a way you have to think. It's all a mindset. It's a lifestyle. So once you have that mindset, you're ready to succeed. Okay, so thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.